hear about it all the time, right? These incredible breakthroughs where AI can spot diseases, like years before a human doctor ever could. And it feels like we're right on the edge of this massive medical revolution with cures for everything just around the corner. But what if I told you that most of those brilliant discoveries will never actually help a single person? It's a really frustrating question, isn't it? I mean, we have some of the brightest minds on the planet, using the most advanced technology to find new ways to save lives, yet there's this huge, invisible wall stopping them dead in their tracks. So, what on earth is going on?
Well, the answer is kind of shocking. A staggering 95% of promising medical discoveries, the things that could lead to new tests and cures, they fail before they ever get anywhere near a doctor's office. And that's not a small number. That is almost everything. It's this quiet crisis happening behind the scenes in medical innovation. Now, this failure isn't just bad luck. It happens in a very specific place, in this huge gap between a brilliant idea in a lab and a proven treatment for a patient. So let's explore this disconnect, because if you can understand it, you can figure out how to fix it. Researchers actually have a name for this gap. They call it the Valley of Death. But here's what's so fascinating. The reason things fail here isn't because the science is bad. Nope, it's because these discoveries just can't get enough real-world proof to convince regulators and doctors that they actually work on, real people. They literally die from a lack of evidence. So this Valley of Death, it's not just some abstract concept. It is a graveyard of good ideas, and it has enormous real-world costs, both in money and, maybe even more importantly, in time. Every single year, $28 billion gets spent on research that goes into this valley and just never comes out. I mean, think about that. That is a massive, constant drain on the resources we have to find new cures. And this is the human cost. On average, it takes 7 to 12 years for a discovery to even try to cross this valley. That's a decade. A whole decade of waiting for potentially life-saving treatments that are just stuck in limbo. And here's the final nail in the coffin. Even for the very few discoveries that somehow manage to scrape together some evidence and make it to the regulators, 68% of them are rejected. And for what reason? The exact same one. They still lack adequate proof. The evidence just isn't strong enough. But what if you could build a bridge over that valley? Well, that's exactly what a new system called the Cohort RAG framework is designed to do. Now, RAG is a bit of a mouthful. It stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, but all that really means is it's a super smart AI that can dig through huge amounts of patient data to generate the real-world proof that's always been missing. Probably the best way to think about it is like a flight simulator for medicine, right? Before you spend billions of dollars building a real airplane, you test it out thousands of times in a simulation. This framework does the same thing for a medical discovery. You can test it against millions of real patient profiles to see if it'll actually work in the real world before you spend years and millions of dollars on a clinical trial. And the power behind this whole thing? It's the data. I mean, the scale is just incredible. Data from 2.5 million people. But it's not just about size. The data is organized into 127 different patient groups, so you can see if a cure works for everyone, not just one specific group. It's deep too, with 8 different types of data for each person. And it's all super high quality, which means the proof it generates is rock solid. So what does this actually change? Well, it basically builds a brand new highway from the lab bench to the patient's bedside. Let's do a little side-by-side comparison of the old broken way versus this new data-driven way. I mean, the difference is just night and day. Instead of taking up to 12 years, the whole process is 60 to 80% faster. The cost, which could run you up to $200 million, gets slashed dramatically. And here's the big one. That miserable 5% success rate, it's now 4 times higher. You're not just moving faster, you are so much more likely to actually succeed. And when you look at it like this, the impact is just staggering. Really, the most important benefit here is for the patients. What used to be a 12-year wait could be cut down to about 3 years. That's 9 years of life, 9 years of better health, given back to people. It's incredible. So if we strip away all the technical jargon, this is what it does. It automatically creates the solid, undeniable proof that governments and doctors need to feel confident enough to approve and actually start using a new medical test. It completely solves that core evidence problem. Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute. Building this bridge, it's not just about making one part of the process a little better. By fixing this one huge bottleneck, we could potentially change the entire future of how medicine gets made. What we're really talking about here is a fundamental shift. It turns this high-risk, unpredictable research into projects with a clear, predictable path to success. It creates the infrastructure that this whole AI health revolution actually needs to deliver on its promises. And yeah, it directly means we get new cures developed and delivered to patients faster than ever before.
You know, there's a quote that just says it all perfectly. The whole goal is to finally, once and for all, build that bridge over the valley of death, connecting the amazing world of scientific discovery with the real world of the clinic. And that leaves us with one last really exciting question. For decades, who knows how many brilliant ideas have been lost in that valley? But with this bridge now built, you just have to wonder, what cures, what tests, what life-saving breakthroughs are we finally about to see?